After a brilliant season finale last time out with RC Lens, which saw us dethrone PSG and win a French domestic double, we now know it's time to head back to our native England as we hunt down the FA Cup, the final of the 14 trophies we set out to win in this career mode. It's time for one last hurrah as we head back home. So, hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Glory Hunter. We are of course returning today, heading back to England as we take over as manager of Nottingham Forest. Now, our team selection may come as a little bit of a surprise to some of you, as they are not one of the traditional kind of big six teams in England, but they're the perfect fit for us. They have developed into a bit of a powerhouse in this career mode with a really good squad, and last year they actually struggled a little bit finishing outside of the European places, which is actually perfect for us as we are just focusing our attention on the FA Cup this year. So this is how the squad is currently set up, and you can see there's some pretty good players in here. Kvaratskhelia and Adeyemi on the wings. We've got Brennan Johnson, former captain at Bayer Leverkusen, Ruben Neves, Kefren Turam, who's someone I've wanted to use throughout this career mode, and a really solid backline foundation as well. There is a little bit of work to be done in the transfer window, but they've got a lot of squad depth as well, so I'm really happy with the team that we've inherited here. And as it's only really the FA Cup that we have to go for, I'm fairly confident we can make a strong push this season. So guys, as always, as this is the first episode with a new team, we are going to be going through the transfer window and most likely kicking off the first few games of the season. I am hoping to rattle through the league games relatively quickly until we get to January and we can start focusing on the cup. But in terms of outgoings, we've only got one player on the transfer list, and that is Nicholas Koza. We've got loads and loads of centre-backs at the club, and he's one of the weaker ones, so we're going to look to shift him on. I've got a few names on the shortlist that I want to bring in, but unlike most clubs, I think this might be quite a short transfer window. The depth isn't great here, but the quality that we've got is incredible, and without any European football, we don't need to worry about having too much squad depth. So we will bring in a few players, of course, but it's not going to be a huge rebuild like we've seen in the past. So as always with FIFA, we've come into a new club and half the squad are out of contract at the end of the year, so I think I'm just going to give deals to pretty much every single one of these players apart from Koza. I won't show you all of them, but I'm going to try and decrease the wages on some of these players like Ruben Neves, who's now 33, Ravella, Eddie Salcedo as well. So I won't show you all of them, but I'm going to tie all of these players down to new deals. Alright guys, so we've made our first signing of the window, and it's a third choice goalkeeper. It's the Senegalese shot stopper Edouard Mendy, who of course we signed when we were manager at Roma. Now at the time he was our number one, however I believe here he is going to have to fight for his place. We've got two really good keepers already. I'm not sure why it's showing Alex Maiton, but we've got two really good young keepers already who are probably more likely to grow, whereas Mendy's 38. So I think he's probably going to start as second choice, but if we're having issues in net, then we've definitely got some good options. Edouard Mendy is our first summer signing. Okay guys, we've dipped into the free agents pool once again to bring in another former Chelsea man and the new vice captain at Chelsea as well in real life. Ben Chilwell is in to start at left back for us. We've got some decent players there already, but Chilwell's a lot higher rated than anyone that we've already got, and of course we used him when we were at Chelsea and he was absolutely fantastic. Lost a little bit of his pace, but still very good on the ball, brilliant going forward. And of course, as I mentioned, we know how good he is from when we used him at Chelsea. We're reunited once again with a former player. This time it's Ben Chilwell. Alright guys, we have finally splashed some of that cash. We have brought in one of the absolute goats of this save. Pau Torres has rejoined us for the third time in this save. We will be using the Spaniard. He was brilliant in our first year at Atleti. We joined up with him again at Bayer Leverkusen by accident as well. We didn't sign him, he was just there, and we have re-signed him here at Nottingham Forest for just £36 million. He is now 33 years of age, but he's still got that pace, and to slot in on the left side of our back four, I think he's going to be absolute class. Pau Torres, welcome back. No outgoings just yet from Nottingham Forest, but a fourth incoming in this summer already. Luis Diaz is in, was released by Liverpool last year, and we have signed the Colombian left winger on a free transfer. Still got his pace, and this guy's shooting is brilliant for someone that plays out wide. Really good on the ball as well, and I think as backup to Kvaratskhelia, he will provide us with brilliant cover. It's another player who joins in their early 30s, but of course we are quite deep into this career mode now, but I think these guys, as we saw last year with RC Lons, can still do a very good job for us, even though they are starting to decrease. Okay guys, we have just made a huge free agent signing. As we did with RC Lons last year when we signed Noah Dennis, we have gone big and found a free agent here. It's definitely Sadio Mane's regen, Joseph Leyi. He's a Senegalese centre forward, and this guy looks absolutely insane. He's going to be our focal point, our star man this year as we go after that FA Cup trophy. You can see Joseph's full range of stats here. He's only 5'9", so he's not the biggest. Left-footed, although he has got 5-star, 5-star. High work rate, and you can see all over the place it's just dark green stats. This guy's absolutely incredible, and I think playing up front in this system with a lot of support, we got two wide men and a centre attacking mid, and I'm thinking about actually starting Brennan Johnson in that attacking midfield position. So we're currently converting him to an attacking midfielder, but I think Brennan behind Joseph is going to be a serious partnership. This guy looks incredible. Okay guys, we've finally seen a sale go through. It's the first one out of the club so far this transfer window. Nicolas Koza going back to his native France to join up with Olympic Lyon. Of course, we've just left France and we're sending Nicolas over there. So he is off. We've got enough depth at centre-back, especially after bringing in Pau Torres, and there's still two more names I want to bring in, so I'm hoping we're going to have enough funds to get them both. Alright guys, I've gone a bit mad and I've created a crazy new tactic for this season, and part of that is to bring in this man, Amad Diallo, who's of course back at Manchester United this year in real life. We've sent Octavian Popescu the other way as he doesn't really fit in the new system, whereas Amad as a backup to Karim Adeyemi on that right hand side is absolutely perfect. I'm going to go and show you my crazy new mad professor system that I've invented for this year, as we're taking it up a notch. Okay guys, you may be looking at this and thinking, what on earth have I done? Now, I may have been watching a little bit too much of Football Manager over the summer, because this is the most Football Manager formation you have ever seen. So obviously nowadays in modern football, it's very different to how it used to be, and most teams will play in kind of two different shapes, one with the ball and one without the ball, which isn't something we really have implemented in FIFA, but I've got that in mind when setting up this team. So ideally when we're out of possession, this will be a flat back four with Chilwell dropping into around this area to make up the back four, and Austin heading further out wide to be a more orthodox right back. In this system, I'm hoping that with Chilwell a little bit higher, we will drop into this sort of back three with Pau Torres on the left, Romero on the right, and Austin Bryan, who is our orthodox right back, kind of tucking in a little bit on this right hand side. We've then got Ruben Neves sitting as our sort of CDM, who will just sit back and dictate play. I am a little bit worried about his lack of pace, but Neves is just going to play as a sort of DLP, a deep line playmaker, who we just want to get on the ball and spray the passes about. Next to him, we've got Kefren Turam, who will be our sort of box-to-box midfielder. We've got him on this right-hand side because obviously we're playing without a sort of orthodox right back. So Kefren Turam on this right-hand side as a box-to-box to kind of cover this right-hand side of the pitch. Then moving slightly further forward, we have the the energy of Brennan Johnson as a sort of left attacking playmaker, an advanced playmaker. Now my plan is to kind of overload on this left hand side with Chilwell offering width, Brennan Johnson kind of in the hole, and then Kvaratskhelia, who's obviously just insanely good at dribbling. Now my instructions on him are to stay wide and come short, so I want him to keep his width, so we've got Chilwell on both sides, but come infield as well to these areas, come short and get the ball off Brennan Johnson, so that we can overload on that left hand side. We've then got Adeyemi as an inside forward on the right, so left footed. That's why we've signed Amad Diallo, because he's also left footed but plays on that right hand side. So Adeyemi is our inside forward on the right, and then we've got Joseph playing as our central striker, but just slightly shifted over to the right hand side. He's also left footed, so I'm hoping that little shift will give him opportunities to cut in on his left foot. So it's a crazy system. I have no idea if it's going to work in game, but I decided, as this is going to be our final team that we spend time at in this Glory Hunter, let's make it a little bit more interesting. Alright then guys, I have got my man in midfield. I think that he is the perfect fit for that left-sided Ruben Neves deep-lying playmaker position. You may recognise him. We used him when we took part in the European Championships with the Netherlands national team. It is Kenneth Taylor. He joins from Wolves for 68.5 million, so quite a big fee, but they first quoted me 80 million for him, so quite happy to get him in the door. And as I say, I think he's perfect for that position. He's got a little bit more pace than Ruben Neves does, but he's just as good on the ball. Also left footed, so perfect to play on the left side of our midfield. Alright guys, we've got our first game of pre-season here against our former team Bayer Leverkusen. Let's try out this new crazy formation and see how we get on against former Champions League winners Bayer Leverkusen. Well, unfortunately, it's not quite the result that we wanted. A 2-1 loss, although I'm not too fussed about the results in pre-season. Hopefully, this will play a lot better in-game when we first try it out. Okay guys, after that signing of Kenneth Taylor in midfield, we unfortunately did have to make a sacrifice. We've got way too many midfielders. So Filip Ugrinic has left the club for 28.5 million as he heads to Italy to join up with Inter Milan. I was actually quite looking forward to using him, but we just have way too many options in midfield. So Philip, sorry, but you're off. So guys, we've made it to the first game of the season, and look at this for an opening couple of fixtures. We kick off the campaign with Liverpool at home at the City Ground, followed by a trip away to the Emirates, and then we end the month by welcoming Manchester City to the City Ground as well. Couldn't have picked a harder 3 opening fixtures, but of course we have already won the Premier League, so this isn't a competition that we need to win for the series. Remember, it is just the FA Cup that we need to lift come the end of the season to complete this challenge. Although it would be lovely to finish the entire series with a domestic double, winning the league and the FA Cup. Let's jump into this first game to finish off this first episode with Nottingham Forest. It's Liverpool at home at the City Ground. So guys, I just wanted to go over a few of the player instructions that we've got set up before we go into this first game, as the tactic that we're trying to use is quite complex. So I've actually got my keeper set as come for crosses and sweeper keeper. I would never normally change these, but I'm going to give them a go, as Mendes, our keeper, is 6'5", so I'm hoping he should be able to come for the crosses especially. We've got Pau Torres and Romero both on stay back whilst attacking, and Brian we've got on just balance, because I'm happy for him to do whatever he wants down that right hand side. For Chilwell, I've got him to join the attack and actually invert, as I've asked Kvaratskhelia to stay wide, so I want Chilwell to come infield. We've then got Kenneth Taylor to stay back whilst we attack, as I want him to cover that kind of left side of the pitch. Next to him, Kefren Turam is going to be on balanced, as I want him to be a box-to-box, but stay on the edge of the box for crosses so that he can work back on the counters coming the other way. For Brennan Johnson, I've got him to get into the box for crosses, as I want him to be arriving late as kind of a second target to hit crosses. And he's also on the free roam instruction, as I want him to just kind of roam around and make things happen. As I mentioned, Kvaratskhelia is on stay wide but also come short. So hopefully him and Chilwell can combine, with Chilwell coming inside and Kvaratskhelia staying wide. We've also got Adeyemi on the other side to stay wide on that right hand side and get in behind, and then Joseph also to get in behind but stay central. This is the most I've kind of played around with the tactics of any of the teams that we've used so far. So we've got a really tough start to the season. I haven't played FIFA in about 3 weeks, so there's only one way this is going to go, right? We're going to get absolutely battered. But let's jump into the first game, see how we get on with this new look Forest team. So then, match day 1 of the Premier League season. I've lost track of what year we're actually at in this save. I think it's like 2031 or something like that. Not too sure. We've played so many games. I haven't done squad numbers as well, which is going to really annoy me. I'm going to have to do that for the next game. But yeah, first game here against Liverpool. Going to be a tough fixture. But I'm hoping with this new system that we've got set up, we can get off to a winning start. I obviously, I mentioned previously before we went into the game that although we don't need to win the title, it would be lovely. Go on, Brennan. Square it. Joseph. Bosh. 1-0. It would be lovely if we could win a domestic double this year to finish off the save. Obviously, no European football, which is fine by me. We've had our fun in the Champions League and the Europa League, just focusing on getting this FA Cup done. We've made a great start here in the league. Johnson squaring it to Joseph, and he gets off the mark for his new team. Liverpool playing the ball round on the edge of the box. Bellingham into Ndidi. It's just wide of the post. Mendes at full stretch, but Ndidi fires it wide. Chilwell does really well one-on-one against him. Finds Christian Romero. Now Taylor. Over the halfway line. Joseph on the run through the middle. It's a brilliant ball. Joseph round Alisson and scores for 2 just before the break. And this is our new system in full flow there. Chilwell does well down the left. Finds Kenneth Taylor, and from that deeper position it's a brilliant ball through to Joseph, who does the rest. On that getting behind tactic, he is going to score so many goals for us this year. 2-0 just before the break. Chilwell coming inside, feeds it through to Brennan. Can the captain get his first of the season? He's put it wide. Big chance, should have finished it for 3. Malero now down the left, ball into the middle, and Liverpool are going to get one back. We couldn't kill it off down the other end, and we get dragged out of shape, and Liverpool get one back. It's Tete at the back stick. Kvara into Johnson. There's Kefren in support. Now can he poke it through to Joseph? He can. Now Adeyemi inverting off that right wing and scoring to make it 3. Our 2-goal advantage is back, and Karim Adeyemi gets his first of the year. Another player that we've used already in this save. Was brilliant for us in a different system at Leverkusen, and he looks to be causing just as much damage from the right hand side here in Nottingham. 3-1, and that should hopefully be game over. Liverpool looking to strike again, but Romero does brilliantly. What a clearance that is. Joseph's on the run. Did he time it? He did. Can he get an opening day hat-trick? He can. Never in doubt. This man is clinical. On his stronger left foot. There's the hat-trick. Now we can rest him. What a start to life at Nottingham Forest. Liverpool once again looking for a consolation. It's really good build-up. Malero down this left-hand side. Got players dragged out of position here, and it's finished off. Jacob Ramsey is with the finish. And it's no surprise that there's been goals in this game, because we know what these sliders are like. 4-2, we're still going to come away with the victory. Shame to concede a few at the end. And I think that should just about do it. Referee letting Liverpool play on here. Shots coming in, and it's a goal. And it will be 4-3. Gabriel Jesus grabs another consolation for Liverpool. But there is the full-time result on the opening day. Shame to give away a few goals at the end, but Joseph with an opening day hat-trick ensures Nottingham Forest pick up a much-needed victory on match day 1 and signs of good things going forward. Okay guys, that is where we will end episode 91 of Glory Hunter. Off to a great start in the league, and I'm really happy with our business in the summer window. It may be a bit shorter than our usual kind of first episodes at a new team, as we went about our business pretty shrewdly, brought in a couple of new players and only shifted on 2 or 3 as well. So yeah, really happy with the team that we've built here, and as I say, I'd love to win a domestic double to finish off the series here in England. I'll catch you for the next episode very soon. We're going to try and crack on with the Premier League games pretty quickly and get through to January and the FA Cup, and I hope to catch you for it very soon. Peace.